Hello and welcome, I'm your host KB, and you're watching another episode of KB's Top 5. If there's something I love watching, it's a good 80s or 90s sitcom. Sure, I love me a docu-series, an epic drama, or a sci-fi series, but there's something therapeutic about zoning out, having a couple of laughs, and enjoying some wholesome fun. Originally, I thought of compiling a list of my top 5 favorite sitcoms of all time, but it was proving quite challenging. So I thought I would break this down into decades, so for this episode, I'm gonna cover my top 5 favorite sitcoms from the 80s. I also only wanted to limit this list to series that I've actually watched, either back in the day as a kid or during my adult years. For some, there may be some glaring omissions with shows like Golden Girls or Who's the Boss, but I honestly haven't watched many, if any, episodes or enough to form a strong opinion. These are definitely shows I hope to watch sometime in the future, but for now I just can't rightfully put them in my top 5 list. To simplify things, I've only included live action sitcoms and only included series that's first season aired between 1980 and 1989. And as always, this is no definitive list, this is my personal top 5. Number 5. Cheers. Cheers feels like one of those shows that was always on television, and that's probably because the series ran for an impressive 11 seasons between 1982 and 1993. While most sitcoms focus on the home setting, Cheers stood out amongst its contemporaries as it took place in a below-ground Boston bar. Even with the bar setting, it had a familial atmosphere and genuinely felt like a place you wanted to go, just like the iconic theme song boasts. It spawned 2 spin-offs, with the short-lived The Tortellis in 1987 and the hugely successful Frasier in 1993.
Hey, Cliff, new suit?
Oh, well, no, actually, I just had it dry cleaned, Doc. Hey, Woody, beer, and one for me compadre there, Nami.
You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Number 4. Roseanne. This series actually sparked my idea for this video. I did watch Roseanne as a kid, but while revisiting the series recently, I was struck just by how original and funny that the series is. While it definitely wasn't the first show to feature a working class family, it was the first to start a female lead and portray family life in a more realistic way. Well, at least by sitcom standards. The show had a solid run of 9 seasons between 1988 and 1997. It also had a wildly successful reboot in 2018, but following controversial comments made online by its star Roseanne Barr, she was removed from the series after only 1 season, and the show would continue under the new title, The Conners. Number 3. Family Matters. I wasn't aware while watching the series as a kid, but Family Matters actually started off as a spin-off of another successful 80s sitcom, Perfect Strangers. The series originally centered around the Chicago-based Winslow family, But following what was originally intended as a one-off appearance, the show's spotlight would be focused on the character Steve Urkel.
Hi, Laura.
Played by the then 13-year-old Jaleel White, the nerdy and accident-prone Urkel would go on to become an icon of the 80s and 90s. The show lasted 9 seasons, which aired between 1989 and 1998, and also happens to feature one of my all-time favorite theme songs for a sitcom.
It's the bigger love of the family.
Number 2. The Cosby Show. These days, it's hard to separate the work from the horrible things that Bill Cosby has been convicted of. Understandably, the show has since been removed from syndication, but that being said, I love The Cosby Show. It is one of the most wholesome and heartwarming sitcoms of all time and was definitely a staple of my childhood. The show follows the Huxtables, the upper middle class family in Brooklyn, with Cosby starring as the patriarch of the family, physician Cliff Huxtable. I think what I really appreciated about the series, more so than other shows, was that you felt you were really watching the family mature and grow as you saw these kids come of age. The show ran for 8 seasons, starting in 1984 and finishing in 1992. It also received a spin-off series called A Different World, which released in 1987 and ran for 6 seasons. Number 1. Seinfeld. While most would consider Seinfeld a show of the 90s, and rightfully so, like Family Matters, the series did just creep in on this list, having first aired in 1989. Following New York-based comedian Jerry Seinfeld and his eclectic group of friends, not much really needs to be said for the show about nothing. It isn't just one of the best sitcoms, but one of the best TV shows of all time. While I remember watching it as a kid, it wasn't until my teen years that I really began to appreciate how brilliant the show really was. I remember taking months downloading the series, downloading every episode on 56k dial-up internet, so that just goes to show how much I love the series, and that's why it's number 1 on my list. The show ran for 9 seasons before ending in 1998.
In your own mind, right? You go to the beach, go in the water, put your wallet in the sneaker. Who's gonna know? What criminal mind could penetrate this fortress of security? I tied a bow. They can't get through that. I put the wallet down by the toe of the sneaker. They never look there. They check the heel, they move on.
That does it for this episode of KB's Top 5. Thank you very much for watching. Please go subscribe to the channel, check out the Facebook page, and as always, I'll catch you guys next time.